fear was never meant to stop you? What if fear was the actual stage that catapulted the faith within you? In Matthew chapter 14, Peter heard one word, come. And then he stepped into the supernatural. As we go through this message today, we're going to see how kingdom faith restores dominion over chaos. Today, we're coming from the book of Matthew chapter 14, verses 28 through 29. This is very familiar because we see Jesus walking on water and Peter's walking on water also. Lord, if it's you, Peter replied, tell me to come to you on the water. Come, he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. A simple word, come, manifested supernatural miracles, signs, and wonders, manifested a boldness like no other. He stepped down off of the boat onto the surface of the water and began to walk. The distance doesn't matter. The duration doesn't matter. But what matters is supernatural activity flowed from faith, which was once fear, but restored us back to what God had created us to be. So what's the big idea of this passage, of these verses? When we recognize Jesus as Lord, heaven responds. Let's say that again. When we recognize Jesus as Lord, heaven responds. Faith isn't just about believing in the supernatural. It's about participating in it. When we have faith, we participate in the supernatural activity that flows from heaven to the earth through you. Key term, Lord. It's an acknowledgement of divine authority and ownership. Who's your Lord? Yes, a lot of people say that Jesus is Savior, but is he your Lord? Do you submit to your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? Even in doubt, Peter uses this term and activates a divine response. Come, an imperative, not just permission, but empowerment. Not just permission, but empowerment. Jesus' word carries the creative power to do the impossible. Walked, literally to walk around. It denotes a sustained action, not a brief step. Notice it doesn't say he took a step, but he walked. It's very important. Now let's keep this in its proper context because in first century Jewish thought, the sea represented chaos, danger, and the uncontrollable forces of nature. So just imagine what he stepped off the boat. He stepped out of himself. Just visualize this now. Unto chaos, into danger, into the nature that was uncontrollable in the place that he stepped out of. But when he stepped in the supernatural, which gave him dominion over the chaos and the destruction. Jesus and Peter walking on water symbolizes dominion over chaos, echoing Genesis 1, where God brings order from disorder. 1. Recognition in the midst of uncertainty. Now, this can be difficult when we're going through it. You see, it's easy to say get through the storm, but it's different when you're in the storm going through it. Recognition, Lord, if it's you. See, Peter's statements reveals both hesitation and revelation. Yes, the storm distorted their vision, Mm. However, the voice of Jesus pierced through the doubt, the uncertainty, the fear, and the confusion. Watch him now. Faith begins when we recognize his voice, even when we can't see his face. Mm. Let's reflect. In moments of doubt, what matters most is not clarity of sight, but the certainty of his voice. That's so good. Number two, the power of the word Lord. See, Peter, he addresses more than just a name, he addressed the title of Lord. Mm. It's a declaration of authority. The moment he called Jesus Lord, he positioned himself for divine engagement. Heaven always responds to lordship recognition. When we proclaim him as Lord, supernatural order invades natural chaos. Is Jesus your Lord? I'm telling you, and I'm proclaiming it from the rooftops, and I'm proclaiming it through all of these social media platforms. Jesus Christ is my Lord. I submitted, yes, Lord. I submitted to Jesus. And in my submission, I became a true follower so that I can go forth as the Lord, as an ambassador. Mm. Kingdom reflection. The word Lord invites divine action. Every miracle begins with submission to his authority. Three, the command that empowers. Yes, Lord. There's this theologian, Ulrich Laws. This is what he says. Jesus gives him the command that he asked for. That's so good. It is the basis on which Peter can act. Mm. See, this reminds me of what God did in the beginning when he spoke to the ground and said, produce. This is what I want. I'm speaking to you to produce it. When Jesus spoke to Peter, he put the ball in Peter's hand and said, if you want to walk on it, do it. That's so good. See, Jesus didn't merely just permit Peter to walk on water, he empowers him. The command, come, carries within it the capacity to fulfill what it demands. We may think of it as a simple word, come, but it carries within it the capacity to fulfill what it demands. Now, watch this, just like a seed. What the seed needs is within itself. What you need is within you. Jesus is telling us to come, but until we act on it, it's just potential. But when we act on it, we unleash the potential. And that potential is God. Mm. See, this is divine partnership, the kingdom expressed through human obedience. Kingdom reflection. When Jesus commands, his word becomes the bridge between natural limitations and supernatural manifestation. That's so good. Number four, dominion restored. Now, watching now. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. See, this is the moment of Genesis restoration. Humanity walking again in authority over creation. What began as fear turned into participation. Both Jesus and Peter walked on what represented chaos. This act reaffirms God's original mandate. Let them have dominion over all the earth. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Kingdom reflection. Kingdom faith restores humanity. Not only does it restore humanity, it restores humanity back to its rightful place, walking above what once overwhelmed. Rulership by relationship. Mm. Heaven coming into the earth, invading the natural so that the supernatural can take charge. Kingdom faith restores humanity to its rightful place, walking above what was once overwhelming. Kingdom life application. Head, which is the truth. The command come still carries kingdom authority today. When Jesus speaks, his word contains the power to do what he commands. Heart, which is the motive. Don't let doubt disqualify you. Even in uncertainty, calling him Lord opens the door for divine movement. Hands, which is the practice. Step out of your comfort zone, which is the boat. Let's say that again. Hands, which is the practice. Step out of your comfort zone. The boat is a place of comfort. Wherever you are, it's a place of comfort. On your sofa is a place of comfort. That job that's just knocking you off of your feet and causing stress and high blood pressure. And God has already told you to take a step, but He wants you to take a step out of your comfort zone and do what He told you to do because all you need is in the come. Step out of that comfort zone. The supernatural begins where your comfort ends. Call to action. What began as fear ends in dominion. When you hear his voice and say, Lord, step into the impossible. Peter walked on the water, so could you. Time and time again, Jesus continues to show us that he wants a partnership with humanity so that the supernatural can invade the natural. Thank you for tuning in. I love you. And until next time, as always, peace.